So why is it? That's the being. The being is to lose yourself so completely that you become the thing you love. The mother goes through tremendous pain in giving birth to her child. But the pain is nothing when she holds the baby in her arms and sees what came out from her body. And she holds the baby in her arms, and at that moment, there's no pain, there's no discomfort, there's only the love of that child. You see? So in other words, what has happened is that she forgot herself in her focus. And at that moment, because of that love, there is pure being. That is the only point when we in the moment transcend the limitation of the human. But you might say, but how can you transcend the human? You don't. The being and the human being become integrated. They become one. You see? So the key question is here, how do you become one when you're depressed, when you're angry, things are going wrong? By always remember you're a being. This afternoon we were at Capers and having lunch. And I left my jacket with my wallet zipped up on a chair. And then as we got up ready to go out, I forgot the jacket. And I went to get it and my wallet was stolen. So I have a lot of phone calls to do because I had my care card and my license and my bank card and everything is gone now. So, but you see, the first thing I had to do in order to remain in my being is to forgive the person who stole it. You see? If I for a moment was angry at the person who took it, and they must have been very, very skillful, because they did it in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes to get my jacket back. The point I'm trying to make here is that in order for you to be in being, is to use every experience, whether it's dancing or whether it's something happening to you from someone outside you, okay? Is to be totally in it and see the love in it. You might say, but how can you see love in theft? How can you see love? You can see love in everything. One, because nothing happens by chance for some reason or other. And two, the person who stole it, maybe they need it. They need the money that was in it. It wasn't a lot of money. And third, I don't understand it fully. And it's okay. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Okay, so the point I'm trying to make is that no matter what the experience is, you can always go back to being. Always. There is no excuse not to live it. So the people who say, I got it and I lost it, you see, they made it so intellectual. Oh, I got it because now I understand. But they're not strong enough to live it. And living it means allowing yourself to be the being you've always been. You see? And that means that the now is complete. Whether something is taken from you, if you're ill, even if you're terminally ill, it doesn't matter what is happening. The now is complete. The now can never be lost. And all you are, listen to this please, all you are is now. All you are. Did you hear that? Now we think we are just the body-mind. But the body-mind exists because of being. It is the being that is appearing through them. The reason you see and experience and know, who experiences it? Who is the experiencer? Who is it that experiences? I'm asking you.
The substance that's experienced.
That's right. The substance that experiences, which is being. Spirit, being. That is the experiencer. See, not the human. The human does not experience. The human can only experience according to its past, what it thinks about it, what it has experienced from it. The now has nothing to do with the past. The now is free of the past. See? The present is contained within the now. Let me ask you something now. A question. What would you choose, happiness or unhappiness? But be very, very real, very honest. What would you choose, happiness or unhappiness?
Happiness.
Everybody would say happiness.
Neither.
Hmm?
Neither.
They're both the same. If you see them the same. If you see them the same, they're both the same. But if you choose one, if you choose happiness, then chances are you're going to be unhappy. I didn't mean to use a trick question here, but this is the way to begin to explore it. If you choose happiness over unhappiness, then you're going to fight unhappiness when you find it. But if unhappiness arises, and you say, well, that's what is, it's my interpretation and judgment of it, because the being can never be unhappy. Did you know that? The being can never be unhappy. Why? Because it can never be happy either. Because it is happiness itself. Are you with me so far? It cannot feel fear nor emotional love, and therefore it is unconditional love. Because when we think of love, when we think of happiness, when we think of being, we think of something. This is the one thing that very few people ever get, unfortunately. I'm emphasizing it here for those who said they got it, and there are quite a few when they listen to this audio or video, is that what you're getting is in your mind. There's nothing to get, and there's nothing to lose. There's only being. You see? And being is always in that blissful, contented state. Always, because its nature is nothing. You see, this nature is not this or that. It just is. If you ever found yourself in total silence, in total quiet, when your mind wasn't thinking, you felt good. You know, about 6 weeks ago, Peter said, he was listening to a talk, and he says, I felt a moment of joy, just like the time that you received those CDs, you said. And he said, and when I felt that moment of joy, he says, but was that wisdom? I didn't feel any wisdom. Was that silence wisdom? That moment of joy that he experienced, was that wisdom?
So,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, because wisdom is a silence. See, at the moment that you experience joy, you have a moment when you just are. Okay? What happens in that moment? Can you hurt someone? Do you judge anyone? Can you be violent? Can you think a derogatory thought? Can you be offended? And that moment of joy? No. No. At that moment you are pure being. You see? That's all the wisdom that you need to know that you are this moment itself. I can talk like this for 2 hours, but I'm not saying anything. Are you understanding me? I'm not saying anything. I am saying that there's nothing to know, nowhere to go, nothing to achieve, nothing to accomplish, nothing to attain, but to see that this being that you are is complete. You see? It is your holy essence. It is your sacred self. And when you begin to feel that, when I say feel it, I don't mean emotional feeling. You begin to see that this is all that there is, truly. Then a peace comes to you. You haven't achieved peace. You haven't attained it. It is there. It is your true nature. You see? And no matter what happens, that peace can never be taken away. Once you recognize it, and how do you recognize it? By knowing that the human is a role you are playing. You are a being playing the human role.